Welcome back to today's edition of the Press Club. I'm Earl Bousquet with our guest this evening, once again, Laura Jean-Pierre, the host of DBS Newsmaker Live every Wednesday evening right here on your screen. Laura, before we went to the last break, we were in the issue of repairing the justice system, and I was saying while we wait to find out what really happened and how it was fixed for that French guy in particular, there are other things that common law thinking people suggest. They call my show, my radio show, and I get all sorts of suggestions also on my other TV show. One of the frequent suggestions having to do really with traffic cases is, you know, I said, listen, with so many traffic cases, why don't they just have night courts? So if you have night courts, then you could dispense with the number of traffic cases. I agreed, and in light of what is happening now on the discussion on remand justice and speeding up the wheels of justice and fixing our broken justice system, what's your view on, first of all, night courts, but secondly, night courts across the board, not only for traffic, but also a special night courts aimed at addressing these 300 and something cases of persons on remand for longer than normal?
Okay. Well, I am one of those who believe in night court. I think there should be some sort of night court system put in place, especially because of the backlog of cases that we have on remand. And some of these cases does not necessarily need to be one where there's a jury and then all of that fancy thing, you know. The simple cases where you have men in particular sitting in prison because they're unable to pay child support.
What about people on murder charges?
Murder charges, I don't necessarily think. When I think of night court, I think of expediting a process, and I don't think a murder charge we want to have it.
So you're not saying nighttime high court?
No, not at all. Not saying nighttime high court.
Nor are you saying that justice can only be dispensed by daytime?
I am not at all. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we're working in a limited resources, and I think
we're trying to clear the backlog.
Right, we're trying to clear the backlog, and I think night court would assist with that. And so all of the resources that are appointed to high court, and I think it will not be appointed to night court, but it will help the backlog of the things the cases that we anticipate are going to take 3 days to hear, not a murder charge, but something, I don't want to say inconsequential, but something lighter, you know. So all of those things can go through the night court instead of, you know, jamming the court system, and then so you have the bigger cases like the murder cases, you know, and all of those things are left to languish a little bit more because we have to deal with all of those things.
The question normally comes up at my favorite watering hole, which is habited by lawyers and everybody else, and police officers and fishermen and everybody. There was this argument that in our natural haste to get the wheels of justice going faster, in our pursuit of reducing the backlog in the courts and reducing the number of persons at Bordelais, the fisherman guy came up and said, hello, Zovle laje tout vole, ek tout moun ki hatre moun, ek tout moun ki jan viole moun, just pis yo laje en français. And how do you reply? How do you respond to that?
Well, I don't think that's the intention. I don't think that's the intention at all. I don't think so. I think we need. Well,
can serial rapists?
Do we have serial rapists? We have to be very careful with that. I mean, I'm hearing that becoming a buzzword now about serial rapists. We don't know
what was your definition of a serial rapist?
Rapist is one who rapes multiple times. So you have an MO. One person is doing raping people repeatedly. So it may not be the same victim, but
What about
many
a repeat?
rapists.
What about the question of a repeat offender? When does a rapist, somebody being arrested, charged, and found guilty of rape, when does that person become a serial rapist? After twice, third time, fourth time?
No, absolutely not. I think a serial rapist is one, as I said, who carries out a series of rapes in the same manner. Now, maybe you've gone to prison, you got caught and you went to prison and you came out and you still don't, he still remains a serial rapist. The point of the matter is for us to now, when these people have gone through the court system, that they're penalized according to the heinousness of the crime that they've committed. So for instance, if I'm a rapist and it's aggravated rape in terms I'm coming at you with a gun, with a knife, my intention is not necessarily just to rape you, but if my intention is if you put up a fight, I'm gonna kill you as well, then these are people you cannot tell me after 4 years you're going to have them back out on the streets. And if we're talking about serial rapists, then it's no good for us to say we have
But where
serial
is the
rapists.
justice for that person until proven guilty on the second charge?
On the second, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
a
Until
rapist. So
proven-
somebody has done time for rape and was released. Served his time, was released. Caught a second time, but has been on remand for 3 years.
Well, everything, we have to look at the nature of it, because if, as I said, you're coming at me with intent not just to rape but to kill, hello, I'm not about to advocate to put you out there so that you can continue. We had a case, Earl, not too long ago, late last year or thereabouts, where this guy had gone out there and he assaulted a woman and raped her, and that was not the first time. He was on remand, from my understanding, allegedly for a similar type case. You can have these people on remand.
And he was out.
And he was out. He was on bail. You know, awaiting
You also have the
a first
you
case
also
that
have
had
the
not
case
gone
of
through.
the young lady who got 30-something stabs and was left for dead in the cemetery.
Absolutely.
I heard her on the radio and TV of her complaining of her hospital bed that, listen, this guy has been released, he tried to kill me, and I don't feel safe.
And those are the things that I'm talking about. Those are the things I'm saying.
But a lawyer was able to get enough of a technicality to convince the court to drop him.
And here's the thing, it goes back again to the judicial system is broken. Because if I were a cop, and there is a vulnerable persons unit that should be working in tandem with detectives to ensure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. It is not enough for me to arrest you and send you, and then for somebody, based on a lawyer, based on a technicality, to get this animal out behind bars and on the street.
We have, and that's the one we have to fix.
But we need to fix it, and which is why I always come back to the constitutional review. It's not good enough that a process was done, to have this constitution amended and nothing is being done. And I'm upset, Earl. I am incensed that what our prime minister in effect said, this is not the will of the people. All of these things need to be addressed, and if it means that we have to sit in cabinet and get these laws amended, we need to do it. And the time is now. The time is not 5 years from now. The time is not when the bell is about to be rung. The time is now. If we go into government, if you come to us and you beg us, and they all do, they all beg to be given a chance to represent us, and we give you that chance, it means that we've weighed the options and we think that you're better at it, or that you stand a better chance of doing something about it. Do it. Not wait and tell me, oh, you can't get everything done in 5 years. But if you start a process, then I can understand and say, okay, it may take more than 5 years, but you've started something, and I can hold you accountable for it. It's like the rape issue. We heard the Minister for Gender Relations, Alvina Reynolds, saying that, we need to teach our boys how to treat women better, and maybe women need to walk with the pepper spray. Now, here's where I'm incensed with the pepper spraying thing. It's illegal. So if I have that, I could get arrested. In trying to protect myself, I'm breaking the law.
You rather go learn judo?
Well, I do practice martial arts. Okay. I don't know about some people, and I can defend myself, and I have defended myself in the past. But what I'm saying is, has she sat in cabinet and said to her cabinet colleagues, we need to pass this and make it legal? And how many times have we heard her talk about it in Parliament to ensure? By now, my goodness, last year we had between 58 and 66 rapes. This year we're already up to 7. We're only in March. When is the damned pepper spray going to be made legal so I can have one? Because I'm going to spray every...
Let's move to the next topic.
And this is the thing that we need, and I'm talking about more than just as a person in the media. I'm talking about, I'm also putting myself in the shoes of a regular citizen. I can defend myself if I have to, I think. Because at the time when you're in the situation, maybe everything has gone, you know, out the window. And even if you've defended yourself in the past, maybe the person might be stronger, smarter than you or whatever. But the fact of the matter is there are others out there who do not have a clue. And I think one of the things, I'm going to take this opportunity early, if you permit me, to encourage. When I was a student in secondary school, at the Vifford Comprehensive Secondary School, we had martial arts. We had martial arts. I did martial arts 3 days, I think it was a week, for 3 years. And that has helped me tremendously. It helps you with your self-discipline. It helps you with your self-confidence. It helps you with so many things. And we think we need to bring that back into our school system where not just our girls, but our boys as well learn how to defend themselves. And I thank Timmy Francis for that. I think he has a program right here on WBS, helping people learn how to defend themselves.
Well,
and
in fact, you'll be even
well.
happier to know that as part of the International Women's Day celebrations, a karate gym, the Shotokan International Karate Gym, had a special Saturday session for women to teach them martial arts as women who need to be able to defend themselves in any situation.
But it needs to continue. And the other thing about it is that I'm trying to work on something right now. But all the time we're hearing about these things. We're hearing about it in the North. If I wanted to learn to defend myself, you know what I have to do? As a person who lives in the South,
you gotta come
I have to come all the way up to Castries to get to learn. And I don't have a problem with that because I'm mobile. But what about the hundreds and thousands of us who are not mobile who can't have access?
What you've just done there is just set the pace for a new venture.
And that's all I'm saying.
We're going to take a break. That's all we'll say. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have our final session during which we want to talk about the ongoing debate about debates.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.